It is a story we have been following for years. A nurse at City of Hope suffered sudden cardiac arrest on the job. After years of battling the hospital for workers' comp and coverage and several appeals by the City of Hope, she actually won her case.
Now, despite that legal victory, her family says they are still fighting for what she needs. Our Carolyn Johnson joining us here in studio with the very latest. Carolyn.
Well, Jonathan and Colleen, Andrea Morris is now quadriplegic. After winning her court battle last June, her family assumed much needed home modifications would be taken care of, but they say it's been an ongoing challenge, some of which you're about to see may be upsetting.
It was May of 2020, during the first wave of the COVID pandemic, when nurse Andrea Morris told her supervisor at City of Hope's Cancer Infusion Center in Upland that she didn't feel well. Moments later, she suffered sudden cardiac arrest, an incident recorded by her supervisor. Court records show more than 7 minutes passed before she received life-saving CPR. For 5 years, City of Hope maintained this was not a workers' comp case. I need help. She struggles to speak, cannot use her hands to feed herself or even to pull up her bed covers.
That stress, all we need is 1%, created and caused the sudden cardiac arrest. And 2 doctors said the same thing.
The State Court of Appeals agreed last June, and City of Hope opted not to appeal the case to the California Supreme Court.
We were relieved and thrilled because we knew at that point that Andrea will get the care that she needs for the rest of her life.
The court victory means Andrea now receives licensed vocational nursing care going forward that costs more than $400,000 a year and a permanent disability payment of just over $3,000 every 2 weeks. Andrea's sister and legal guardian, Pam Bertino, says it was a relief to finally get the round-the-clock nursing, but she says getting coverage for just about everything else has been a struggle.
So we get these med reviews, and the hospital bed was denied. She needs a new hospital bed that is an air mattress that will make sure that, or at least it will try to eliminate any bed sores and things like that.
Pam must submit all requests to a claims adjuster handling workers' comp cases for City of Hope. That means everything from seeing a doctor or physical therapist to medication changes recommended by a physician to repairs for Andrea's specialized van must all first get the okay from that claims adjuster. City of Hope says they're not responsible for managing claims, but like a lot of hospitals and companies, they've outsourced their workers' comp cases to a third-party administrator that's paid by and answers to City of Hope. Pam says the system is tedious, time-consuming, and can take months to get Andrea what she needs.
I work full-time, and this is my second job that starts in the afternoons and goes through the evening hours. Keeping track of paperwork.
But at the end of March, an agreement was reached between City of Hope and Andrea's attorneys to pay for a new handicapped van and to fund much-needed home modifications, including widening Andrea's doorways, updating her shower, and adding an emergency exit. City of Hope says, we continue to empathize with Ms. Morris's situation and are administering benefits through the workers' compensation claims process. Andrea's family continues to celebrate her fierce determination to beat the odds. Her brother created this children's book detailing her inspiring adventure of courage and hope.
She wants to be there for her children and one day go to their weddings and, have grandchildren one day and really just live her life to the best of her ability. And that's what my purpose is here in this situation, is just to really help her have some sort of a life for as long as she lives in the future.
Now, Pam tells us she is still trying to get that new hospital bed for Andrea. She says it took 6 months to get a refurbished one that was older than the one Andrea had, with no guardrails and brakes that weren't working. Those guardrails were added in 2 days, but the brakes weren't repaired until 2 weeks ago. As for the delay, City of Hope says it relies on the third-party administrator to handle its workers' comp claims. This family is amazing, though.
Yeah.
They really have rallied behind Andrea.
Is there a timeline on these home modifications?
They are supposed to begin at least by the end of this month, and the same is true for the new van. And I did speak to Pam today, and she said that she's been told that a check has been cut for both the home modifications and that new van. So let's hope that's the case, yeah.
I'm sure you'll follow it.
Yes.
There'll be more to come. Carolyn, thank you.